Last night, millions of football fans were asking the same question. Who is Luis Díaz? A player who suddenly seemed impossible to ignore. A player whose speed, energy, and fearless attacking lit up the World Cup stage. One moment, he was just another name on the team sheet. The next, he was the player everyone was searching for. Social media exploded. Commentators couldn't stop talking about him. Fans around the world wanted to know his story. But what most people don't realize is that Luis Díaz's journey started thousands of miles away from the bright lights of the World Cup, in a place where dreams like this almost never come true. And the road to this moment was anything but easy. The mystery. Football creates new heroes every generation. Some are born into academies with perfect facilities. Some are discovered early and given every opportunity. Luis Díaz was different. For many football fans outside South America, he remained relatively unknown for years. Yet behind the scenes, he was quietly building a remarkable story. A story of determination. A story of sacrifice. A story that began in one of Colombia's most unique regions. And a story that would eventually carry him all the way to the World Cup. Luis Fernando Díaz Marulanda was born on January 13, 1997, in Barrancas, La Guajira, Colombia. La Guajira is a region known for its strong indigenous heritage and challenging economic conditions. Luis Díaz comes from the Wayuu indigenous community. His roots are deeply connected to the culture and traditions of the region. Growing up, life was not luxurious. His family lived modestly. Like many families in the area, they worked hard to provide opportunities for their children. His father played an important role in his football development. From an early age, Luis was constantly around the game. Football wasn't simply entertainment. It was hope. It was escape. It was possibility. While other children dreamed of becoming stars, Luis spent countless hours actually chasing that dream, with a ball at his feet, on rough pitches, under the hot Colombian sun. The road wasn't easy, not even close. Players from major cities often had better facilities, better coaches, better visibility, more opportunities. Luis Díaz had none of those advantages. He came from a region that rarely produced football superstars. Many talented players are never discovered. Many dreams end before they begin. But Luis refused to stop. He kept working, kept improving, kept believing. Even when very few people outside his community knew his name. One of the biggest challenges was simply getting noticed. Football is full of talented players. The difference is opportunity. And opportunities were limited. But sometimes all it takes is one chance. One moment. One person who sees something special. And for Luis Díaz, that moment was coming. A major turning point arrived when Luis Díaz participated in a project connected to Colombia's indigenous communities. His talent stood out. People started noticing the speed, the dribbling, the fearlessness, the confidence. He wasn't the biggest player. He wasn't the strongest. But he had something impossible to teach. Natural football instinct. Soon, he joined a youth setup connected to Barrancas FC. That was a huge step. For the first time, the dream felt closer. Professional football was no longer something happening far away. It was becoming real. Every training session mattered. Every match mattered. Every opportunity mattered. Because Luis understood something many young players don't. Nothing was guaranteed. If he wanted success, he had to earn it. Every single day. After impressing at youth level, Luis Díaz earned his chance with Junior FC. And that's where things started changing quickly. His performances became impossible to ignore. Defenders struggled to stop him. Fans loved his attacking style. Coaches trusted him more and more. Then came bigger competitions, bigger stages, bigger pressure. And every time the challenge increased, Luis seemed to improve. B-roll, South American football crowds, and celebrations. Soon, scouts from Europe were paying attention. That attention eventually led to a move to Portugal, a move that would transform his career. At FC Porto, Luis Díaz developed into one of South America's most exciting attacking players. He became faster, Smarter, more dangerous, more complete. Every season, he grew stronger. Every season, he looked ready for something bigger. And eventually, the entire football world noticed. Clip, Porto highlights, goals, celebrations. Then came another huge chapter, a transfer to one of the biggest leagues in the world, the Premier League. At Liverpool, the spotlight became brighter than ever. Millions of people watched every match. The expectations were enormous. Yet Luis Díaz embraced the challenge, just as he always had. He worked, he improved, he adapted, and he continued proving that he belonged among football's elite players. B-roll, Liverpool crowd, training, match footage. At the same time, he became increasingly important for Colombia. Every international appearance carried the hopes of a nation. Every goal inspired young players back home. Every performance reminded people how far he had come, from Barrancas to the world stage. And that brings us back to last night, the moment that made people around the world ask, who is Luis Díaz? On football's biggest stage, he looked fearless, confident, ready. The pressure that overwhelms many players seemed to energize him. Every touch mattered. Every run created danger. Every action showed years of hard work paying off. For longtime Colombian supporters, this wasn't a surprise. They had seen the journey. They had watched the rise. But for millions of new viewers, it felt like a breakthrough moment. A star announcing himself to the world. Not because of luck, not because of hype, because of years of sacrifice, years of discipline, years of believing when nobody else was watching. And now the world was finally paying attention. The beautiful thing about football is that sometimes the biggest stories come from the most unexpected places. A boy from Barrancas, a dream from La Guajira, a journey that began on simple football fields and ended on the world's biggest stage. Luis Díaz's story reminds us that greatness doesn't always start with advantages. Sometimes it starts with belief, with sacrifice, with refusing to quit. And while the world may have discovered him last night, his journey to this moment took a lifetime, because every superstar was once an unknown kid with a dream. And somewhere, right now, another child is chasing that same dream, hoping for one chance, one opportunity, one moment, just like Luis Díaz once did. Comment below which rising star we should cover next. And if you enjoyed this story, make sure to subscribe for more untold football journeys, because the next football hero might be someone nobody knows yet.